Hi, I'm Ray Stuckey. For my network learning project, I decided that I wanted to do an app on my Android phone. I could have done it on my iPad or on my phone. I thought Android would be a little bit easier, and I didn't have to pay the $100 developer fee to join up for the Apple developer program. So I went with Android. So let's see, where did I get started? I started off looking at the Getting Started page from Android, and they actually gave me a couple tutorials about how to get stuff installed, and so that's what I did. I started out with what they suggested, which was Eclipse, their version of Eclipse. They call it ADT, and this is kind of what my app looked like when I started out. You don't really use this except to kind of view it at the end, and a lot of this stuff you just kind of type in, and so that's kind of how you have to do that. So this is on that first page. It's putting my text in there saying here's a text box, and then there's going to be a button next to it, and you see here where it says string. That's actually, you have to put it in a separate XML file, which tells you what that string is actually going to be. So when it says, where is it, button send, that's actually going to be my send. They do this so that it makes translations a little bit easier. So you can just make a separate XML file for send, or whatever it is in Spanish and whatever it is in French or German. You can just go in and change this instead of having to dig through all your code and change it multiple times. So that's kind of nice, but it's a little bit hard to kind of find where what it's gonna say in your app. You have to remember what you're telling it to say. And so that's kind of the layout for the first page. The Java file looks like this. Most of it is kind of gibberish to me. I just followed the tutorial about what I had to do. And so let's see what happens if I run that on my phone. So there's my app, and it says enter a message and send. So I'm going to put in a message. I'll put in our hashtag. Then I put in our hashtag. I'll send it, and it displays what I did. So that's as far as my app has gotten so far. I did play around a little bit. Besides using ADT, Android has come out with a Android Studio, which I thought was kind of cool. It's not based on Java like Eclipse is. It looks almost the same as before. You can see it has the same kind of setup. Here's my strings. XML looks exactly the same. And there is my activity XML, and that's not quite the same because I haven't finished building it on Android Studio yet. So if I run this, it doesn't actually do anything, which is a shame. I'm gonna use this a lot more. It's very early on in the release of it, but I like it, and I think that's gonna be what I'm gonna use from now on. Besides that, looking around past these two things, I didn't find a whole lot of YouTube videos useful, mainly because when you're looking at the code, you can't read what the code says on screen. So tutorials are a little bit more helpful, and the tutorials that tell you what you're supposed to have at the end, like having this whole file and what it's supposed to look like, is a lot more helpful than just telling you, oh, add this and this and this. Since I'm not familiar with Java, I have a hard time figuring out where I put stuff, especially when you see this is everything that goes into building an app, and a lot of things you don't touch, or maybe you can touch. I'm not quite sure because I don't know how everything works yet. And some of the stuff they said just leave alone for now. So I'm hoping I'm going to understand more about that as I go on. I think the biggest barrier for me right now is I'm not familiar enough with Java to really do anything. I'm not familiar with Android to really do anything. And so that's what I have to get better at. Overall, I thought it was kind of fun getting my phone to do some things that it doesn't do. I have to tell it what to do myself. So I hope to continue doing this and have some really neat apps that are maybe useful by next year.